Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another Knicks episode of the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. And you know what it is? It is game 5 of the New York Knicks versus Cleveland Cavaliers round 1 playoff series. The Knicks are up 3-1. We are live at 5 here. You probably haven't heard my voice in a while. We are going through some transitional stuff here at Knicks Jets Etc. As always, we'll be here dropping Jets episodes, Knicks episodes. I mean, all is glorious in New York sports world right now. I mean, besides the fact that the Rangers are 2-2 after blowing the 2-0 lead, I mean, that has the New York metro area going crazy right now, where it's the Rangers versus the Devils. Jack Hughes killing it right now, which is nice for, the new age hockey fans out in Jersey. They're hyped. Of course, we have Aaron freaking Rodgers, now officially a New York Jet. I mean, today has been one of the best days ever. And on top of that, the New York Knicks have game 5 in Cleveland, ready to go here at 7 p.m. It is now 5:30 p.m. We are gearing up. But man, do I have some thoughts to share from how really, just the roller coaster of the way the season ended, into how the playoffs started, into expectations, into where we are now. I mean, it's been an absolute roller coaster, and I'm one of them. I'm one of the Knicks fans that's on 7th Avenue after every game. I'm at every single Knicks home playoff game. I'm the one of the ones on 7th Avenue, so I'm not saying it's not okay to get caught up in the hype. But let's just remember how far we've come. I mean, all day we're talking nostalgia about Aaron Rodgers and how far we've come as a Jets organization. 6 primetime games, yada, yada. We'll get to all that. Jets episode, draft tomorrow. We'll get to all that in a little bit with Greg coming on. But right now, think about how far the New York Knicks have come. We all, I feel like, have done our parade already about Jalen Brunson. I mean, without question, Leon Rose has to be the executive of the year. Not only did we have the best free agent signing in Jalen Brunson, but the news around the trade deadline every single year is there's really no big trade that could happen that can change the trajectory of the franchise in that same year. Kevin Durant seems to be the outlier. However, I mean, if you're watching that Sun series, it feels like it's all on Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant's still trying to figure it out. But dude, Josh Hart. I mean, I don't have to make the puns about, the heart is the heart of this team. First ever playoff series for him, and he is absolutely killing it. Leon Rose, for all the talk we had about Leon Rose, for all the talk we had about Tibbs, and I'll get to Tibbs in a minute here because he really showed out in game 4. And he's been showing out this whole series. We'll get to him in a minute. But at this point, we had Emmanuel Quickly, 6th man of the year, didn't get it, but it's still there. We might be the only one of 2 teams, the other team being the Kings, that's going to have 2 All-NBA players, Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. We'll get to Julius Randle a little bit here. We have Coach of the Year votes for Tom Thibodeau. We have Most Improved Player votes. I mean, we're everywhere. We're all over the board. Just a couple weeks ago, what feels like yesterday, but just a couple weeks ago, we had Mitch Robinson, who said he's upset with the Knicks. He's been absolutely killing it in this series. I mean, it's so easy to now say, oh, the Cavs bench is weak. They traded all for Donovan Mitchell. We're talking about Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, all-stars. Defensive Player of the Year. Like, these are the players we're talking about, candidates, right? Like, Jarrett Allen is an all-star. He has been playing like Chris Dudley out there. I don't want to jinx it. We have a game coming up here, but and that's all due to Mitch Robinson. I got the stats going on, rolling on the bottom here. Mitch Robinson, his stats don't look impressive on paper, but those 2 blocks he's averaging per game are so crucial, and he's neutralizing them. Talking about Knicks fans getting really hyped. I mean, the expectations going into the season after we didn't get Donovan Mitchell was this franchise is an absolute joke. We always strike out. It's always what ifs. Now we have disgruntled players. We tried to pay RJ Barrett his money, and now he had a bad season. That's our fault. We kind of ruined the chemistry. We should fire Tibbs. I mean, that was the entire season. Fournier was such a bad signing. Leon Rose is the worst. I mean, that's how it came in. As the season started progressing, we were a little hot and cold after the All-Star break. After Josh Hart came, this team has looked completely different. But still, the conversation was, if the Knicks are the 5th seed and we lose the first round, it's not that big of a deal. We should be satisfied. It's good enough. No, we are better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. We beat them 3 out of 4 times in the regular season, and we beat them 3 out of 4 times so far in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we need that one more. This is the pregame. We'll get to talking about it here. But I really want to know at what point we have to start taking the New York Knicks seriously. I mean, think about it. We're doing all this with Julius Randle. I mean, his numbers on paper don't look absolutely horrible, right? Like 15 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists and a steal. Like, okay, that's fine. But we need all-star Julius. He's been playing terrible. Objectively, if you've been watching the games, Julius Randle has been playing terrible besides the first half of game 1. And look where we are. We're up 3-1 in the series, right? Everybody wants to, there's always some sort of negative connotation that happens with the Knicks, right? There just has to be. Last game, Julius Randle did not talk to the media after the game. When he did talk to the media during practice, what did he say? I'm just hyped we won. I'm just hyped we won. We're all hyped we won. That's why we're going crazy on 7th Avenue. Knicks fans, do not let your friends get in your head. Do not let your family get in your head. Do not let the internet get in your head. We deserve to be celebrating every single win. I mean, do you see how loud it is in Madison Square Garden? I can't hear the whistle. I literally cannot hear the whistle. But shout out to the Knicks fans in the Garden. Of course, everyone sees the videos on 7th Avenue after. Everybody hears us, on the broadcast. Well, we're also, from my perspective, I mean, I've noticed that in this year, actually, right behind me in my seats, the visitors team always has about 4 or 5 seats right behind me, and it's always a player of the other team's family. One time, I remember I started catching on. We had like Rick Carlisle's family there. We have Okuro's family behind me last time, and shout out to Knicks fans for just keeping it cool, right? Not being disrespectful, enjoying the game, of course, yelling and cheering. But Knicks fans, we get rowdy, but we're also at this point keeping it pretty classy. So shout out to the New York Knicks fans that I've been around, at least for the most part. I'm gonna tell you what about. I mean, this has been beaten into the ground, especially by the BS podcast. But dude, this was the best weekend I could remember in Knicks playoff history. I mean, I can't remember a better weekend. But dude, winning these 2 games, games 3 and game 4 after stealing one in Cleveland, I mean, the reality is we did what we're supposed to do. We stole a game on the road. We won the 2 games at home. And here we are. So in that context, what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to lose this next game today, game 5 in an hour or so, and then win at home in game 6. Again, that same conventional wisdom makes us go play the Milwaukee Bucks, the number 1 seed, who are still favored somehow to win the series, even though they're down 3-1. Everything's flipped on its head here right now. If the Knicks are able to go to Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers are rattled. If they're able to go to Cleveland, and we'll talk about the keys to this game, but withstand Karis LeVert at home, withstand Garland at home, withstand Donovan Mitchell at home, withstand Evan Mobley at home, withstand Jarrett Allen at home, and we're able to close this game out. I mean, we are sitting pretty. Not only do we have some time to rest, We also have some injury concerns. We haven't even talked about Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes, one of the players that I'm not going to even speak in hypothetical and metaphors, the hypothetical you guys. No, me. I didn't want to trade Quentin Grimes this offseason. I didn't want to trade him before the trade deadline. He was supposed to be this really important player for us. I still think he is. He's my mini Allen Houston. I love to give player comps. He's Allen Houston, Obi Toppin, Sean Marion. I'm all over that. That's just the way I roll. I don't know. Quentin Grimes might come back today. According to Fred Katz, Quentin Grimes is a game time decision. According to Tom Thibodeau, right? A little secondhand action here. We're doing all this without Quentin Grimes in the lineup. Josh Hart was able to step up. We're doing all this with Julius Randle playing terrible besides one half. We're doing all this with IQ honestly playing terrible every single game so far. With the most disappointing being the ones at home. And then, of course, we have RJ freaking Barrett. Hand up. The number one hater of RJ Barrett, but not in a bad way, but just honestly, I was keeping it real about RJ all year. Like, I'm calling it out. When he had bad games, he had bad games. He also had a nice little stretch. But this year, after he got paid, I mean, causation is obviously not correlation, but it's just the facts of the matter. He had such a bad year. In the playoffs, RJ Barrett has been everything that Knicks fans have yearned for. Honestly, since the day we drafted him, since the day that we got the third pick in that draft, and the notes started coming out that RJ Barrett might still be the best actual basketball player in the draft. Maybe he's not the most explosive like Zion and Ja. I was always the one that was saying I would still rather have RJ over Ja and Zion because of, number one, the lack of max contract that they both got. So we got him on the cheap, but also because he actually plays basketball games. The argument would hit back to me was, yeah, he's an inefficient basketball player. So RJ Barrett showed everyone. And you know what? Speaking of the fans, Madison Square Garden was behind him the entire time. This whole winning the first game in Cleveland, coming back to the Garden, game 3 and 4, was unbelievable. And to be honest with you, I really hope it's just the beginning. We're rocking the 19 on the shirts that they gave us for Willis Reed. Can this be another Knicks-Lakers finals? We'll see. I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. We got to win game 5. I'm going to go, odds of this game, I'm going to go 50-50, which as this game being a pick'em is a big deal for me. I thought that I've been saying Knicks in 6 to keep it real since the beginning. Knicks in 6, steal 1 in Cleveland, win the 2 at home, lose game 5 to a desperate Cleveland team, win game 6 at home. As much as that sounds all nice, I would really love for the Knicks to close this out in game 5, obviously. But here's the key. It's not just about the Knicks winning game 5 and hoping that not only Miami wins the series versus the Bucks, but that they extend it. So the Knicks not only get home court, but they also get a beat up, team coming out. But at this point, Julius Randle hasn't gotten hot yet. Julius Randle can get hot on the road. Remember when he was a road warrior? I mean, I know his demeanor hasn't been great, and everyone would be nitpicking him hard if we lost either of these games. But dude, Julius Randle, man, he could easily drop 4 threes in the first quarter, shoot his normal 10 threes, hit 6 of them. We could run out of Cleveland with this dub. IQ still hasn't gotten hot, but he is a role player on the road. It's a little tougher, but really this is on Julius Randle. RJ Barrett, we can't really say anything to him. He's been the guy that's been holding this team down, especially on the defense and now especially on the offense at home. He's been killing it. I just wonder if they could put it together on the road. Mitch Robinson still has to neutralize Jared Allen. And man, Josh Hart. Josh Hart being the heart of this team, him and Hartenstein, honestly, Hartenstein and Mitch just killing it on the centers, completely neutralizing Mobley and Jared Allen. They have no idea what to do. Poor JB Bickerstaff. But yo, Josh Hart grabbing all these offensive rebounds. I know that was the story. I love that he said that to Mitch Robinson. They caught it on the mic'd up. I know it's called, I think, Inside Tracks. Saying that, yeah, Mitch Robinson gets all the rebounds, but Hart gets all the hard rebounds, the offensive boards, off the long boards, off the threes. He's such a smart player, man. That's the type of basketball IQ that you need on a basketball team. The type of player that honestly wins you playoff games. The guy that's hustling for the ball. One guy we haven't mentioned here is Mr. Obi Toppin. Shout out to Obi Toppin. He should be the catalyst every single game, especially at home in the playoffs. The crowd goes insane when he touches the ball. If he hits a three, the place goes nuts. If he cherry picks and gets in transition, the place goes nuts. If he gets a rebound, throws it out for the transition outlet, place goes nuts. He throws it down, place goes nuts. He's a huge catalyst for the Garden here. And he's really picked it up with Randall not playing well. And speaking of Randall not playing well, and I want to end this here because, first of all, I know you're getting ready for this game. It's in Cleveland. I thought hard about going to Cleveland, but I'd rather go to Miami. Not looking ahead, but not looking ahead. Coach Tibbs. Coach Tom freaking Thibodeau. Giving us everything we want, man. Not only is he able to switch up and put Hart in where, into Grimes' spot, which everyone could say is easy. He gave us those huge McBride minutes in Game 4. He sat down Julius Randle in the fourth quarter of Game 4 when he stunk. He puts in Obi into the right position when he needs to. He gave us McBride minutes that were so necessary that we've been yearning for as a Knicks fan base, and they were so productive in that spot. He even gave us Derrick Rose during the blowout in Game 3. Dude, this Knicks team has something. And I'm going to call this game 50-50 in Game 5. I really do think we could win. I'm not going to be shocked if we lose, though, and I'm not going to be upset if we lose. But the pressure will be shifted back to the Knicks. The Garden on Friday night Knicks. It's going to be a thing. If you're driving, don't go anywhere near 7th Avenue, win or lose. I would just say from 8 p.m. on to midnight. The Knicks could really put a name for themselves if they win Game 5. And don't look now, but the East is wide open. The East is wide open. The Heat are winning games with Jimmy Butler or Jimmy Butler dropping 60 with no Tyler Herro. Duncan Robinson's getting all these minutes. Oladipo's hurt. P.S. Knicks won 3 out of 4 against the Miami Heat during the regular season, a la the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we'd have home court, game 1, 2, 5, and 7 in the Garden. On the other hand, if it's Milwaukee, Giannis is hurt. This is like the 4th time this season he's had this lower back contusion. He's getting massages during gameplay, like during free throws. The guy's hurt. If this was regular season, there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be sitting out. He's hurt, right? De'Aaron Fox has a broken finger. He's playing. I get it. It's the playoffs. You play. But I'm telling you right now, the East is wide open. The X factor in this game, for me, it's going to be the role players at home. I'm scared of Karis LeVert. Okoro could play well. Garland. Maybe if Mobley shows up. And, of course, Donovan Mitchell. For us, it's going to be Josh Hart being Josh Hart, playing that role. JB, of course, leading the team. But our X factor, honestly, is Julius Randle. Julius Randle drops 35, 40. We win this game. RJ just be efficient. He's got his swagger back. Mitch Robinson, just keep doing what you're doing. They have no idea what to do with you and Hartenstein. Well, let's just play two sides of the coin here. Let's be a little rational. Of course, we did get blown out by them, but we have owned them all season long. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in Game 5. I have all the confidence in the world that we could win this game. It's going to be a very close game, in my opinion. And, dude, the Knicks could be off until like Sunday. Or maybe Monday if the Heat Bucks go to 7. This is a nice little rest. Randall, you could literally earn a full week of rest if you step up and win this game. I'm expecting 10 3-point shot attempts from Randall, his season average. I mean, his numbers are 16 and a half points per game is crazy for him. He could have a really, really big game. I just wonder if this double team that the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing has rattled him a little bit. But dude, they just cannot stop Jalen Brunson. So if Jalen Brunson and Randall are two all NBA players, they come through, sprinkle a little bit of Josh Hart and RJ in there. Mitch Robinson and Hartenstein just keep doing what you're doing. Obi just give us solid 12 to 15. Knicks could win in 5. Knicks could win in 5. On the day that the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. Let's go. Yankees even won today. Things are looking good. All right. I'll catch you after this game. Hopefully we're talking about round 2. Game 1 after this game. A little bit of celebration, a little bit of preview. If not, we're heading to the Garden for game 6. If you see me at the Garden, say what up. Definitely see you on 7th Avenue. Don't get into too much trouble. And let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Wear your New York gear with pride. Whether that's your Knicks stuff, whether that's your Ranger stuff, whether that's your Jets stuff. Rangers will come back. Don't you worry. The Jets got Aaron Rodgers. I'm be at MetLife for the NFL draft preview tomorrow. They're hosting party. I'm hoping to have off from the Garden on Friday. That would be sick. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks. Knicks in 5. Knicks in 5. Knicks in 5. All right, that's it. We out. You know what it is. Hit us up. Knicks coming, Jets coming, etc. Period. You're watching on YouTube. Like it, subscribe. We're also on Apple. Our podcast, our audio is on Apple, Amazon, Spotify. It's all over. Hit us up. Let's go Knicks, baby. Let's go Knicks.